Welcome, welcome, welcome. When I looked up, it was 12 seconds. Wasn't planning this, kind of in my jams, but just threw on a little red for flair because in real day is the day of love. It is Valentine's Day. And I think it's interesting. I knew that the dragons were coming through. And this deck, Love Yourself, both of these decks have been speaking to me for quite a few days. I actually did a reading for this channel and it didn't go through very well. So my connection, I don't know what the connection is going to be like. I'm just going to warn you right now. I have to do it in a live format. That's what Spirit is drawing me to do. However, I'm not going live because they don't want me to have the disruption. But I feel your higher selves here. The dragons are here. Spirit is here. All those who are meant to be here are here. And yeah, if they have me put a link to this, I will, but I went back to edit it and it is like, it's unwatchable, really. I mean, it's like, I'm like, you know, hopefully this won't be like that. But that's okay. I have a feeling they're going to have me do something with it. So look out for that or don't look out for it. I guess it'll appear when it's meant to appear. Anyway, I was going to get all dialed up and everything. This is actually my down day because I'm so excited. I have company coming this weekend. A fellow witchy sister is coming for the weekend to visit and play, and I'm really excited. So my hair's in like a oil lockdown because I'm washing it tomorrow. But I really wanted to do this for you guys. Even like the feathers called to me, like the rooster, the chicken medicine called to me, owl medicine called to me. Also, my husband just got home. I told him I was going to be doing some stuff, so you may hear him come in. I may stop it and pause it for a second, but either way, feel free to go to the timestamps below. I'm going to be doing readings. What messages do we need to hear from the dragons? Since we just came into the year of the dragon. We are officially in the year of the dragon, and today is a day of love. Some people don't like Valentine's Day. They're like, oh, it's a Hallmark holiday. I'm like, I don't care though. It's an actual day set aside to celebrate love. We should celebrate love every day, but I like that we have a day that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, love is love, right? And it's universal. It's the string that holds us together. So these are gonna be messages from the dragons. Hi, honey. Feel free to just drop stuff off and then, oh, lovely. You can leave that out. Do you need anything?
No.
Okay. Okay, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. Do you want to say Happy Valentine's Day to the crew?
Valentine's Day.
Bye, baby. Thank you. He's chopping wood. It's going to be a romantic night tonight for us, and he's chopping enough wood so that we have it for the weekend. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I just realized that you can't really see the star. There we go. Now you can see the twins of Gemini and the star. Welcome. Okay, so let's dive in. These are going to be messages from the dragons for the year of the dragon. What messages do we need to hear right now from the dragons? And since the Love Yourself deck is here, I have a feeling it's going to be interesting. So onward and upward. Let's start with reading one. We're going to start with the dragons, and I feel like whatever is meant to come through is what's meant to come through. So I'm going to shake out the old energy and say, welcome, reading one. Thank you, Spirit. Welcome, reading one. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. Ooh, I'm getting some really, before, because I am a medium, first and foremost, and I do channeling. So before the cards, reading one. Spirit, do you have any messages that you would like to bring forward? They were showing me not at this time, but I am seeing something with a black dragon, and I thought it was a black dragon and a red dragon, but then I saw a black dragon and then I saw a red like on the chest. So it could be somebody who has a tattoo like this, or it could be, I just got the chills. So I feel like I'm on the right path. It could be separate though. I mean, these are mass messages, so it could be a black dragon and a red dragon. It could be that maybe you align more with one dragon energy than the other. It could be that for some reason, if you're like, that's for you to research black dragon medicine, spiritual meaning, whatever words you want to put into the search engine you use. Same for the red dragon. But then I really did get like a very beautiful, very powerful, very tall, almost like Godzilla big, of a black dragon with like red like down, and it almost feels like pearls on the side. Like it's almost like there's something where they have like these cool It's a very beautiful dragon, very powerful dragon. This is your support system. This is somebody that is not in this deck. We are going to pull from this deck for some guidance for the year of the dragon, but this is like, I feel bull energy, kind of like almost like Taurus. Maybe these are just messages for you to give you little breadcrumbs that you're like, oh yeah, this is my reading. If none of this resonates with you, that's okay too. There may be other messages. Like I said, there are many people who watch these. Year of the Dragon. Any other messages? I feel like this dragon is here and they're kind of like, but yeah, very strong Godzilla energy, which is interesting because I heard a song today from the Veronicas that features Travis Barker. I forgot the name of it. But anyway, I just remember looking at that because the name of the album is Godzilla. So that could be another little wink wink from Spirit for you, reading one. Yeah, they're really hitting on Godzilla. It could even be like maybe like um this isn't the energy you want to take with you into the year of the dragon. Like, let that energy be behind you when you make choices and decisions, but don't actually be the bull in the china shop. I got you guys. I hear you. I feel you. Okay. So, yeah, woo! Sometimes I really love being a medium, and then I can, all the beautiful, fun things they give me. It's more fun for me to shut my eyes because I get to see it in a different way. Yeah, so that was it. Yeah. So your main message from this dragon, he feels like I want to say his name is Sorcerer or like Sorcerer. There's something like that. It feels like that. Kind of reminds me of Saoirse. Um, okay, so for some of you, I feel like you feel like you're in a black abyss, or it's going to feel like you're in a black abyss this year, and they're saying that's okay. For some of you, this is your learning, your growth. Right before this started, I was drawn to, obviously there's going to be more than one reading, but I was drawn to put on my music, and I have it on shuffle, and a song came on from Robert Tree Cody, and it was something about I think it's from the Young Eagles Flight album, and I kind of feel like that with you guys. Like, even if you're old medicine, old spirit, sorcerer, you obviously have this big powerful fucking dragon behind you, so you guys are powerful, but I feel like there's like a rebirth, a resurgence, something that's going to happen after this year. Like, some of you, this year, it is what you make it. And my beloved today really reminded me about living in the moment, staying in the present. It's so difficult for those who are dealing with the addiction of control. So if you are someone who has a control issue in your environment, or maybe you're the controller, something like that. Another song that was brought to my attention before this was The Redeemer. And I want you to research Redeemer. I can tell you what a Redeemer is. It's quite simple and easy. Maybe you already know. But if you don't, it is part of your spirit medicine to research it. And redeem and redeemer are very different. They're very different words, and they're very different meanings. Okay. So that's for somebody to research that. Okay. And also, I feel like for some of you, that is the path that you're on, the path of the Redeemer. Ooh, that's fucking cool. Which means that you're prophets and you have a lot to do and you have a lot of work. But I feel like this is the year that the dragons are going to really help you. Basically, I get the vibe from the dragons that work with them and work with your ego, work with control, because control is part of the ego. It's also part of fear. And I was reminded of this myself this morning, to let go of fear, let go of judgment, let go of what others feel about me, judgment, and not care. They had me post a video on my other channel, Lula's Life. There's links on this channel if you're interested. My familiar Baba the Great, she's an awesome, beautiful Maine Coon. She has her own channel, and then I have another channel, Lula's Life. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back for those of you who've been here before. We truly love you, and thank you for the likes, subscribes, and shares, and donations. We love you so much for the support. Thank you. But yeah, I am really feeling this, that the year of the dragon is going to be quite powerful if we stay in a high vibration. We're allowed to have low days. I just had a week that was really, really, really stressful, strenuous. Last night I had a dream that I died. But I was like, I'm at peace with it. It was like really bizarre. So I feel like a part of me is dying, and I can feel that. And I feel like they're trying to say that to you too. Allow the old self to die, allow the old relationships to die. But no one is saying that you have to be like, da, 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 mourn the loss, mourn the loss. Maybe it'll take you an hour, maybe it'll take you a week. It's nobody's business. Don't let anyone judge. And please do not judge yourself. They're saying, please do not judge yourself. The dragons are on your side. Oh, I just got the chills. This dragon, you guys, it's like, it's interesting because I'm hearing the seraphim right now. There's a lot of battle going on. Steve Noble spoke of it with the angels. There's gonna be a lot of false. You hear me say the fakery and the fuckery. That's one of my favorite things. But there's gonna be, what they're saying is there's gonna be a lot of false energy that is gonna be put out really hard over the next few years because the light is winning, and it isn't about this, win or lose, ha ha ha, gain control. No, it's more like it is time for the love to now prevail. The age of Aquarius is here. The time of the dark ages is gone. And we are no longer tied to that energy, the biblical, the dark, and when I speak of biblical, I mean any type of religious, any type of text that was written by man to control, to manipulate and take away our love, our light, our creativity, our source. No more, no longer, no, not going to happen. So, fight hard to stay away from people and situations and things that are not going to align with your greatest and highest good. It's important that you stay focused on what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what brings love into your life, and letting go of all the things that seriously no longer serve the path that you are on at present and that which you are not meant to take into the future. So those are the main messages from Spirit. I feel like they're going to dip back in, but we do have a dragon. So let's see. Okay, this one came out really. Oh, I knew this was for somebody because this was, my husband actually chose this card as well. He chose this card as well for his message from the dragons for the year of Year the Dragon 2024-2025. And I had it up on the altar, or he put it up on the altar. I'd put mine up there. He put his up there. I put the ones that I'd pulled for the tribe that you probably saw in the shorts there. There's actually, it was like a 3 shorts, but it was like one message, but it was broken up into 3 shorts. So go check those out. Even though Hearn is on 2 of the videos, they're very different. It's like part 1, part 2, and part 3. So you may want to go check those out. They're pretty clear because you can kind of see what the deck looks like, and you can see the dragons. But anyway, harmony. Harmony is your key word. Harmony is your key word. This is your dragon. I will take screenshots and put them in the community section so that you can keep this for yourself. So you can put it as like your screensaver or on your phone or something to remind you of why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. So harmony. Also, this was another one that came up in one of those musical ones. It's on the front of it. It's from it says The Wedding from Outlander. So if you were drawn to that, there was some love messages in there. But magic and manifestation came in there, and I feel like they want me to do something more with that. But for now, we're going to focus on harmony as your card. I love these dragons. So harmony is number 2, and each of these dragons. Here, I'm going to read from the book. This is since we're using this deck, I feel like we should honor the solicitor and the provider, I guess. All those who are involved in this deck. So according to them, they say the dragons are a form of energy similar to that of spirit guides, spirit animals, and angelic beings. I like to think of them as angels and hobnail boots. Cute. Their energy is slightly different to that of the other ethereal beings, as it carries a depth of power to it that I have never noticed when working with other energies. Totally true. Also, I feel like those of us who work with the dragons or feel an affinity to the dragons, there's something really powerful there. So we either were dragons before. I have a huge dragon. This on my arm is a dragon and tattooed. And I have had an affinity for them since I was a child. And, for the longest time, I thought I was a dragon, but now I'm starting to think maybe I was a dragon rider. And I feel like if you ever watch, there's this show Heartland I'm obsessed with right now that I found. It's been on for 15, 16, 17 years or something. But like my husband and I just found it. And we just wanted something good and wholesome to watch for a while. And I love horses and I used to work with horses. And so it's really brought such a warmth to my heart. And it reminded me how much I love working with them and that energy. So if you're somebody who works with animals or you just have this affinity for animals, this could be a message for you too, to really start working with the animals again, or finding a job or a place you can live. Let me tell you, I don't know where you live, but I can tell you that I live in Washington State, and in the Pacific Northwest, there are constantly people who are hiring for hands like that people that they'll give you room and board if you help with the horses, So if you're looking for a completely different career path, you're looking for something totally different, you may want to do some type of trade. Maybe you can sell a bunch of things that you have so that you have some money to live on. So you have gas money to pay your phone or, car note or whatever that is. But giving yourself more freedom. I'm getting this vibe from spirit and from the harmony dragon, from the dragons in general, that in order for you to find your harmony in the next year is for you to go after your dreams. Everything that makes you feel so good and so wonderful about yourself, about life, like what makes you want to get up in the morning. I don't care what it is. If it makes you feel joy, then I want you to get up and do it. I know I joke all the time. Obviously, if you're a serial killer, I don't want you to get up and kill people. You know what I mean? But there's limits. But in a weird way, I've said this before, oddly, those kind of people and situations serve a purpose too. And I can't begin to tell you why or understand the darkness of that or why it's there. It's not for me to know or to tell or to share. But I feel like for some of you, you're in a shroud of darkness, or the next year is going to feel that way, but it's only going to feel that way if you keep doing the same thing, right? If you do what you always do, you get what you always got. So you need to make serious changes in this year. And for a lot of us, we're not going to see this again. The dragon's not going to be around for another 12 years, right? Because there's a Chinese zodiac for a reason, or actually I think there's 13. I think they go by the moons, right? So there's 13. So I believe, because it's the Lunar New Year. So I believe, but I could be wrong. See, I'm not an expert. Anyway, I looked up 1716 and then 1717. So those are your angel numbers to look up and work with if it felt like it was drawn to you. I also saw 1719 out of the corner of my eye. So 1716, 1717, and 1719. It could be the numerology of the numbers mixed together. You may want to look that up, whatever this is your reading. But yeah, I'm just getting this vibe that like, if you stay in the darkness, then that's all you're going to get. Right. And I said to my husband the other day, I go, wow, that's really bizarre. And he's like, what? I go, well, that means I'll be 64. The next time it'll be the year of the dragon. And I go, that's pretty fucking crazy. Right. And he's like, yeah, that is kind of crazy when you think of it like that. So, it's kind of like, it's not that it's for everybody kind of thing, right? But it's like out of all of the animals, out of all of the, whatever, it is the dragons that are the most auspicious. And it is the dragons that are like they bring fortune. And you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of beautiful purity energy that comes with these dragons. They also teach us so much. They're so grounded and centered, and they do not come with ego. Ego is not part of their fucking plan. That's not what they do. So with that being said, okay, so she's right about the depth of power. So she says, you will know without a doubt when dragon energy is present. Yeah, like when I did my prayers before when I called in the energies, it's like my whole body just feels more grounded, more strong. Like even though I work with them all the time, it's still like when I really summon them and they're like here right now, like that dragon, your dragon, I was like, all right, that's some serious shit. So, don't take this energy for granted is basically what I'm getting from spirit. The dragons have their own personalities, and each one carries its own teachings or guidance. They are creative, inquisitive, and honorable beings who at times demonstrate a dry sense of humor, enormous compassion, and immense power. How do I begin to describe these magnificent and intangible beings? Their energy is huge. It is a privilege to channel it. Trying to quantify the unquantifiable is nearly impossible. It's difficult to put the dragons into a box to fit into our thinking. They are a kaleidoscope of colors and sizes, shapes and masses, and they love color, crystals, sounds, and symbols. They are alchemists, shapeshifters, and healers who work with the angels and ascended masters and were integral to Atlantis. They have connections to the planets, our galaxy, and galaxies beyond. Dragons give unconditionally. They support us along our journey and are without judgment. There's that judgment thing again, right? That's why they want you to love yourself. Just please, please love yourself. This is the year to love yourself. Yeah. And they have chosen this time to impart their ancient wisdom to humankind by guiding us and helping us to fulfill our true potential. Okay, so you chose two, harmony, and each of them have their own clan. So in this group, she works with the dragon clans. There's the Earthwalk dragons, the Galactic dragons, the Grandmaster dragons, and the Guardian dragons. Harmony is from the Earthwalk dragons. So also for some of you, I opened up to transformation. The third reading, part 3, was transformation. That's the card I got for the year too. And I could feel it, man. I can feel it on multiple levels. So that might be for you guys too. I just got the chills like hardcore. Okay. So harmony says, tomorrow is a new dawn and being in our heart center ripples out with positive effect. Harmony is the first shy dragon I met. She was peeking out at me from behind a huge curtain when she first appeared. She's a quiet and considered being and is a lot less brash than some of the other dragons that I have encountered. I asked her about her qualities, and she replied, I am the bringer of harmony, restorative on an inner personal level and an outer global level. So if you are wrestling with a problem that you are unable to resolve, ask Harmony to bring her beautiful, harmonious influences to the situation and guide you in any steps you may need to take. If she has appeared to you today, she asks, what area of your life needs reviewing? What do you need to let go of? Is it judgments or old habits? What is it in your life that needs reharmonizing? I will assist you in taking those first steps, supporting you as you go. Take some time to sit and contemplate your life as it is, and look honestly at what may require changing. It may be something quite small, just a little tweak here and there, or it could be a life-changing event. Harmony goes on to say, the answers you seek all lie within you. So sit quietly, dear one, ground yourself, be present and reflect your inner knowing under my guidance, and I will help bring the answers to the surface for you. Tomorrow is a new dawn, and being in your heart center ripples out with positive effect. Harmony will often appear when there has been discord or upset. This can be personal or on a global scale. She's the harbinger of change, and her role is to bring harmony to the world. And I feel like that's yours as well, 2245. Ooh, that's also the number 13, which is the divine feminine energy. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, to wrap up this reading, we're going to have a little mantra at the end. Actually, now that I think about it, Harmony might have had a mantra. But your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to chase the blues away with Harmony. And those of you who've been walking with me for a while know that one of my favorite movies is with Jane Fonda called Point of No Return. It's the American version of La Femme Nikita. And I don't want to give too much away, but if you want a good something to watch, I suggest you go and watch that, because the beautiful message in the Point of No Return is that we can all change. And even when we're at our darkest, our most low, we find the inner strength to be the hero of our own story, because you are the lead of your story. You get to decide. But if you're like myself too, where you feel like you are here to do something bigger, you're here to carry on the spiritual, whatever it is for you and your path and your destiny, what was I made for? I finally watched Barbie the other day. Oh, I was bawling. So good on so many levels, all of it. And Ken and just, and Ryan Gosling's little micro things. Oh my gosh. I just if I didn't love him before, he's this most adorable thing. Anyway, your mission, should you choose to accept it again, is to watch Barbie if you haven't seen it, or maybe even watch it again. Maybe you've only seen it once when it came out last year, but maybe you need to kind of see it again through different eyes, right? What was I made for? What was I brought here to do? Get quiet, meditation. Getting quiet is meditation. Pull yourself away from those. By the way, a little fairy bug just flew onto the window. So I feel like there's a lot of fairy energy here. So work with the fairies as well. I feel like the fairies, the dragons, the angels, to me, I feel like they all come from the same place, but they just have different purposes. Anyway, your mantra: I forgive myself for my wrongdoing. I don't know what this is. This is personal to each of you, but I just feel like it's time to let the dam break. Get that, cry, get that out. Today I'm doing this on the day of love, and I love you guys so much. And just know that, like, there's nothing wrong with you. If you only knew a fraction of the shit that I have done in my 52 years in this life on this planet, you probably would not follow me or be watching this reading, right? Because you'd be like, wow, holy shit. But you know what? I'm not the sum of all my deeds, and neither are you. And you can change at any time. And after this reading, if tomorrow is the first day that you're going to start the rest of the new life, the first day of the rest of your new life, then so be it. But you know what? If you fall off the wagon, so to speak, then you deal with what you got to deal with, and you get back on and you try again the next day. The only failure is not getting back up. So when people are like, oh, you've tried 100 times. Yeah, well, maybe you need to try 101, because timing is everything. And so is going against what we are meant to do. With that being said, I no longer judge or criticize myself. I am free to love who I am. I am free to love who I am. So if you want to take a shot of that, I'll go behind it. I want to take a shot of that. If Spirit calls me to, I will put these in the community section. If not, that's for you to take a screenshot. Okay? Okay, reading one. I hope that helped you in any way. Blessed love day and blessed year of the dragon. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. I love you so much. All my information is all over this page. So whatever you need, want, it's all there. See you next time. Bye. Oh, I guess I'm not pausing. So bye. I guess I'm just going to reading two. All right, fun. All right, I'm going to leave harmony up there. Yes, because otherwise they wouldn't have that be the dragon. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's see. So we close the portal to reading one with grace and gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. And we now open the portal for reading two. Reading two. I feel like I want to sing to you. Oh, I feel a lot of music with you guys. It's like, ah. I feel this like very aerial, ethereal, angels, lots of seraphim. Oh my gosh, you guys got a dragon right away. We did a channeling in reading one, so I thought we were going to do that, but right away. Oh, you guys have the philosopher. Wow. I love this card. It's also number 25, which is the number 7 if you add them together. So if that means anything to you guys. And when I looked up, it was 2809. Lots of numerology going on there. So if you were drawn to that number, look up 2809. Wow, this card doesn't want to behave. I feel like, what's going on with you guys? This is very interesting. I'm feeling a really, and you're the only one that got 2 so far. The philosopher and grace. Okay, so, okay. There's a lot coming through. Philosopher and grace. Wow. Any more? Okay, so we can put those down. So with the philosopher and grace, I was going to dive into the book, but I'm feeling it's actually interesting too, because I don't normally hear anything that's going on outside. And for some reason, I'm like hearing a lot going on. So I feel like for some of you guys, you're trying to, so we are going to do a channeling, but they wanted me to bring those up first. You are trying to philosophize. Is that a word? It's like, I feel like you're trying to bring like this human philosophy into like what you are. And so today in real time is, love day. It's Valentine's Day, and we are officially full on swing into the year of the dragon. And these are messages from the dragons and from the energy of love for the next year of the dragon, for the next lunar year from 2024 to 2025. And I'm getting for some of you that this is the year to get the fuck out. They're getting kind of brutal. They're saying this is the year to get the fuck out of your own way, to get the fuck out of your head. And they're not saying this to be mean. They're just saying like, this is it. Like no more talking about it. No more saying you're going to do it. No more next year, this time, blah, blah, blah. This is a little tough love. If this is harsh for you, come back and watch it at another time. They're going to come back in with love, I promise you, because the first reading, this is already very different than the first reading, but because I can feel love. Also, I'm feeling like I'm going like this. So I feel like some of you, and there is no shame ever. Okay, there's no judgment from the dragons ever, but I'm feeling like a needle in the arm, and it feels like for some of you, like you were a drug addict, and Spirit is saying that just because you were that, this could be even for just one person, and this could even be like you like doing drugs to yourself, and it could be food, it could be people, it could be situations, it could be a job, but I literally saw a needle, and at least for one person, you are so fucking powerful. The reason why you did these intravenous drugs like this is because you are so powerful and you didn't know what you were and nobody showed you. And let me tell you something. This is a very beautiful, loving message from the dragons. If your path is harder, it's because it's greater. That is a fact. That is the truth. Sometimes we feel like, why, yeah, we can all look at the Taylor Swifts and the Travis Kelce's of the world. Yeah, and I'm not saying they haven't had hardships. I'm just saying, like, right now, we don't know their hardships, right? All we know is what we see, right? And they're just like this love bubble, and everyone's like, yeah, I mean, of course, they put them on the cover of People magazine of the week of love. I mean, just all these things, right? But also there's something to be said about that. You can look at that as a promotion of love and awesomeness, or you can look at it like, why can't I have that, right? There's like this negative, I'm feeling this very dark negative energy of greed and jealousy, and Spirit is saying grace. We must look at that with grace and say, wow, if you do not have that kind of love in your life, then Spirit is saying, isn't that wonderful that it exists? And aren't you excited when it happens to you? Because it will, but you have to get out of your own way. Okay. And for some of you that were drawn to reading one, the Redeemer, I really feel like you should go and watch that reading. If not, this message is not for you, but it just came in because we used part of that in reading one. So what they're saying is that we all have a role to play. And if you are in fact a redeemer, somebody who is here to help others, you're here to bring out the best in others. You're here to, redeem yourself for the past negligence and behavior of the way you treated yourself and your avatar. There is no judgment. Spirit is saying you were in a very hard situation. And this is for anybody. I had a situation earlier this week where I broke down and I had a breakthrough. My breakdown led to a breakthrough where I realized why I had a connection to this and why I had a connection to that and why my addictions are this and that and why they're harder to disperse, especially if they're addictions or things that happened when you were in your youth. And youth is really anything before 25, because the first 25 years we are born, we are growing, we are learning, we are expanding, we are sponges, so we're learning from everything around us. And each of us have our own individual path. Close your eyes for a second and think about your childhood. If your childhood was precious, but your adult life, you've been having hardships that you never experienced, again, it's because you chose that. You chose to have maybe in your other lives, you had a horrible childhood. Maybe, you had horrible, horrible things. You were beaten, tortured, raped, right? But in this one, you're like, hey man, I want to have an easy childhood. And then like, maybe let me meet my, baby daddy that's like, kind of a piece of shit and he beats the crap out of me, but it makes me stronger and I'm an advocate for women. You know what I mean? It's like everything that happens for us and to us is to help guide us. And how we respond to that situation with grace or without grace is up to us. And that is how we stay in the high vibration. That does not mean that you are not meant to go down to a place where you need to go to heal. You may stay there an hour, a minute, a week, a month, but pull yourself out of it, because not getting up is the fail. Get back up. Try again. Don't get so wrapped up in your head with the philosophy of it, right? Because humanity, Earth is a teaching place. It's, so with that being said,
I don't know if this is there or not. I hope so. But
I'm going to move this over here. Okay. So I just channeled a bunch of stuff. So I have no idea what went through, what didn't go through. I have no idea. So I'm just going to keep going because I feel like I'm meant to. So let's read from the book. The first one we're going to read is The Philosopher. And basically what I got from Spirit is that you need to get out of your head. Okay? It's time to get out of your head and rise above the situation with grace. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of you. Like I said, I started channeling, my eyes were closed. I have no idea what you've seen or what you didn't see, or I have no clue. But very interesting though, like when I look at them again, they are both looking down though. Do you see that? And I feel like this is the reminder from Spirit that you come from the heavens, you come from the stars. If you found yourself here, like you have a much greater purpose than other people. That's what I was channeling, is basically the long and short of it is that you guys have a much greater purpose. So, and if you were pulled to reading one, I highly suggest you go and look at it. But magic and manifestation is going to be your best friend this year, is magic and manifestation. Okay, so let's go to I believe it's the Galactic Dragons. No, the Grandmaster Dragons. Okay, so here we go. The Philosopher, the Philosopher. Okay, this wise old dragon is all about learning and the direction your life is taking. This can be in your 3D physical world or on a metaphysical level. He shows up when you have been considering taking up any kind of study, whether you are returning to or continuing with formal education or undertaking personal or spiritual development. This dragon came to the reader. They said or to the creator of the deck, he says, he came to me bringing a strong connection to Galileo and to the planets, the solar system, mathematics, and science. And he says, one is never too old or too young to learn. Set your sights high and reach for the stars, for you have much to gain from and to reveal to learning partners. He has a particular affinity with the stars and constellations and is often associated with people learning the old arts, such as astrology, scrying, and divination. So if you've been looking into this, as well as the sciences, so if you've been looking into this, or if this is something that has been coming into your orbit, I kind of get the vibe from Spirit that this is your wake up call, basically, to do it. Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay, I'm just gonna let that go. That came through really, really strong. This is your yes. Like if you're like, should I work on that this year? They're like, yes. Okay. So he goes on to say, you have been putting off that which you want to learn. Your self-doubt hinders you from following your passion and your true path. Your affinity with the old arts is the starting point of your journey. Take this as notice that you should follow that which you seek with your heart, for only then will you truly tread the steps of your destiny. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Also, I looked up, it was 4103. So if you're drawn to that angel number, that's your angel number. It says, his presence helps us navigate our world in our chosen direction. He becomes our compass, our guiding star. When we are at a loss as to what comes next, call upon his presence to help steer you forward. Oh, the Philosopher. I love it. So it's time to go back in and study. And, don't let anybody poo-poo you. So now the next one is Grace, and that is number 16, Grace. I really hope I came out of the channeling and it said that it was not connected. So I have no idea what you got. I'll have to go back and look at it. Anyway, here we go. Grace. I love this card. You've probably seen me use it a lot in different things. Also, as I looked up, there's a bunch of birds eating. I have cute. I have a bunch of bird seed right there outside my window. And yeah, I feel like you guys are like really drawn to like bird energy, or like the birds are drawn to you, or like also I saw 2 eagles this morning and both of them flew really close to the house. So work with eagle spirit medicine. Okay, this dragon flies into our lives when we have been or are struggling with self-worth, self-respect, and self-love issues, or when we have been neglecting ourselves. It's time to look at ourselves and discover who we truly are. We are magnificent human beings who need to find ways to let go of our self-imposed limitations, throat chakra, work with your throat chakra, and self-limiting beliefs. Grace's words are simple. Stop it now. You are more than you can possibly imagine. You can achieve so much more than you foresee. Believe in yourself. Push the boundaries of your self imposed limits. If you don't try, you will never know how successful you can be. And if you perceive that you have failed, remember there's no such thing as failure, only an experience to learn from and try again. If that went through, that was one of the things we channeled from Spirit and both readings is like, falling down or trying 100 times and not making it, doesn't make you a failure. It's trying that one more time. It's getting up one more time and keep doing it until you figure it out. Sometimes the path is clear and the signs are clear and sometimes they're not. We have to get quiet and we have to really like sit with Spirit and be like, okay, what is my next step? What is my next, okay. Dragons have an issue with the word love because we continually misuse it. So they have opted instead for grace. Oh, so they're saying, so when you see this, grace means love. That's beautiful. They say that grace is more encompassing and authentic. Grace is a deep acceptance of all that is within and without us. It means the end of struggle through embracing the whole of us as we truly are. I love that. Yes, beautiful. Any more messages from Grace? Nope, that's it. Okay, so then each of us get, each reading gets a love message from the Love Oracle. Okay, so reading 2, Spirit. What's reading 2's love mantra for the year of the dragon? What is, okay, this one is like, it was like almost like glued to my fingers. Okay, here we go. Do you see that? My past is past, right? My past, no, excuse me. Not a Freudian slip. It was meant to be heard. My past is my past. I don't know how much channeled, but a lot channeled. So I really hope that whoever heard the message heard it. Okay. My past is part of the richness and fullness of life. Yes, it's part of who you are. Don't have any shame about it. I was channeling things about at least one of you being an intravenous drug user and that there's nothing wrong with you, that it's part of your past. It's not part of who you are now and it's not part of your future. Do not let your past dominate or tell you who you are now or who you're going to be. It's over. It's done. You get to decide right in this moment what it's going to be. And the dragons are here to support you. I have a feeling we're going to do a lot more readings with them over the next year. Okay. And on the back of this card, it says, without my past, mistakes and all, I would not be here today. I love myself for my willingness to learn and grow. And you may even want to take a screenshot of this. I don't know if it'll let me get in there so that you have that. Okay. And I'll do this too. My past is part. There you go. You can take a screenshot. Okay. So we have that. And let me see, because the deck fell and because you got 2 dragon cards, I'm just going to see if there's, oh my gosh, you got 2. Okay. I am safe and secure in my world. Yeah. Each reading is different. I am safe and secure in my world. And on the back, it says, I choose to believe that everyone is always helpful. Therefore, wherever I go in life, people are there to help me. Yes, you are not alone. And Spirit has your back. The dragons have your back. The angels have your back. I'm going to put this with your cards because I think Spirit's going to have me do something interesting with these, like maybe in like the community section or whatever. Okay. And then this one says, I live and work in comfort and ease and beauty. So if you're someone who doesn't like your job, manifest a job that you're comfortable at, that you love. If you want to work from home, then manifest that and keep bringing it into life. Keep talking about it until it actually becomes real. And on the back, it says, my home is a reflection of me, and I choose to make it a wonderful place to live. Yeah, so if you're living in a place or in a situation with people or, where you're miserable or whatever, it's like you're telling the universe that you believe that you deserve that you're just going to accept that. And Spirit's saying, no, you don't deserve that. You deserve to be in a place that feels good, that feels sacred, that you can breathe, that you can sleep and have good dreams. You know what I mean? Like, of course, things are going to happen and things are, whatever. But your home is your sacred space. Hi, honey. Hi. Okay. Did you want to bring some wood in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I think that's it for you guys. Let me make sure. Do we have any more messages, Spirit? Oh my gosh. I went to put away and it like flew out. Confidence. Move forward with confidence. I need to look in the book. They're just saying use the energy of confidence to move forward. The more you say it, the more you'll believe it. And the only way that you're going to know exactly what to do, say hi, Alder,
Hi.
is by doing it every day. Alder and we're both, I know he'll be okay with me saying this, but we're both ex-addicts, you know, and we still have addictive personalities and addictive situations that we deal with on a daily basis that we, you know, it's not all sunshine and roses for everybody all the time, you know? So we worked really hard to become who we are, and we still have, you know, days and doubts. I heard this message from Steve Noble today that I thought was so beautiful. And he said something like, remember that every day carries its own energy. So just because you had a good day this day doesn't mean you're going to have a good day the next day, or vice versa, right? Just because you had one bad day doesn't mean that it's like, oh my gosh, right? That's why they say don't make any decisions or anything in the heat of the moment or when something happens, because you have no idea what's going to happen. So don't give up. We got your back. And you're not the sum of all your deeds. I used to say that to Alder over and over and over again when he was feeling doubt or feeling like he wasn't worthy. I would say, you're not the sum of all your deeds. None of us are. I love you so much, and so do the dragons. And so does love, because love is universal. So until next time, all of my information's all over this channel. So whatever you need, go looking for it. My links to my other channels and to work with me one-on-one, or if you'd like to contribute to any of the work that I do. Thank you so much. I love you, and we'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Okay, so now we close the portal for 2. And moving on to reading 3, and open the portal for 3. Hi, welcome reading 3. This has been fun. I don't know what we're gonna get, but reading 1 and 2 was fun. My hair is in an oil lockdown. You guys know I do that a lot. So my hair is in oil lockdown. I hadn't planned on this. Also, Alder's going to be bringing firewood in, so please, I apologize for any distractions, but we have a lot going on right now, and we're on a limited time. So this is about you. Welcome to your reading 3. Okay, Spirit, do we want to do any channeling at this time for reading 3? Wow, okay, I said that, and then like all of these things flooded in. Do we want to pull any cards first? Okay, we're going to pull, ooh, Mordwin. Oh, this is number 28, Mordwin. I love this dragon. It's such a powerful dragon. I'm very, very, very excited to see what Mordwin has to say. So let's pull Mordwin to the side. There's Alder. We're on a new reading now. We're on reading 3. Oh, he's bringing in firewood. It's so exciting. Oh, you got 2 cards. Okay, it's because we only had 1 card for reading 1. Oops. Reading 2 had a bit more. But now your second one is Crystal. You know, I thought it would be okay, but do you mind if you just take a breather until we're done? Because I'm going to start channeling in a minute.
Okay.
I'll come and get you. Okay. So Crystal is your second card. I felt like there was at least one of you that was feeling a bit distracted, and I feel like Spirit's trying to get your undivided attention. So we're going to do that. Also, when I looked up, it was 5126. So work with that angel number. Do we want to work with, I saw Lord Cthulhu. I love Cthulhu. He's like, to me, he's like the pride dragon. It's when I research Cthulhu, it's like, I know that, I believe I'm saying that correctly. Well, we'll talk about it. But anyway, but the first time I worked with them before I ever worked in the book, I got this very like, hey girl, like energy. It was so awesome. And because I've been very blessed to have a lot of beautiful gay men in my life, and have worked with so many different like spirits on the other side that are very in that energy. I swear, I feel anyway that is that energy that lives in those humans comes from the angel realm. And I feel like they're healers of some kind, or they have like some type of mission. I don't know how to explain it, but because I've known and been around, like at one point, like my 9 closest friends were all gay, and gay, lesbian, but definitely different. And they had something about them that I I realized was all similar, and it was that energy. And I was like, huh, isn't that interesting? Okay, so those are the three that we're going to work with. With that being said, would any of you like to channel through right now for reading three? Would you like to give any direct messages to reading three at this time? No, not at this time. They just didn't want the distraction from Alder. We're actually going to work backwards. So Lord Cthulhu is number 20. And okay, they said that doesn't matter right now. I was going to tell you their clans and all that, but they said it doesn't matter. So Lord Cthulhu is, their theme is you are the change. When Lord Cthulhu first arrived, he lost no time informing me who he was. I am a dragon elder and spokesdragon for the Galactic Council, he went on to say. If you desire to be able to hold the energies of the fifth to the seventh dimensions, you need to be clear of all your earthly woes and fears and your deep need for control. And if you were drawn to reading two, there was a little mishap in reading two. So I don't know what happened when I was channeling. I lost whatever, but 5351, also angel number. But that literally like came through. Control was a big issue for reading two. So if you feel like that's something that you need to work on, you may want to listen to those messages from the dragons. Okay, so interesting that they're talking about fears and deep need for control. Your light bodies need to be in alignment with those of the earth and the astrological light matrix. Only then will you become a tool and a tuning device to lift the energy of the planet. As more of you gather together to do this work, the greater will be your chance of bringing lasting peace to earth. Lord Cthulhu went on to explain why the dragons are here collectively. We have come before lasting peace is achievable on Earth. There are other galaxies beyond your human understanding at this time where it has happened. We dragons are as old as the universe itself and have encountered and witnessed humanity and all its guises through the ages. You are the change. I love them. That's so good. Yeah. So that was like the segue, is like you are the change. It's interesting because reading one was the redeemer. Reading two, I feel like, is the controller. And I feel like reading three is the changer. You know, and I feel like that's what you guys are here. You're here to be the game changers. And very interesting that you also chose the crystal card, 19. So let's see what Crystal has to say. Crystal, Crystal. Oh, and for those of you, if you haven't seen the shorts section, if you go, you'll see tabs on my main page. You'll see tabs under shorts. Some of you think that's funny, but I know I've known people who are like, what are shorts? And I'm like, dude, I've been making shorts forever. They're like little mini readings. They're like, oh, I didn't. Like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So if you're looking for like little mini readings, that would be your perfect way to go. But I feel like for some of you, because Hearn, I opened up to Hearn, and there were two, there's part one, part two, and part three. So part one and part two are mostly Hearn, and then part three was Transformation Dragon. So go check out in the shorts. You'll see, because they look familiar to these cards. You'll get it. And Hearn is Herne. Okay. And Hearn says it's time to reevaluate, to slow down your fast-paced life, which is why you're trying to control everything. And they're saying, stop, don't do that. Divine Feminine. Oh, Aslitholis. Boy, you guys are powerful. Do you guys work with the dragons too? Because I'm getting a lot of dragon energy from, ooh, I just got the chills. That you guys, you may be, some of you may have been a dragon in another life. If not, you work with them very closely. Or I've found out recently that I don't believe I was a dragon, even though all these years and I have a dragon on my arm, I always thought I was a dragon. I believe I was a dragon rider. And a dragon rider is like the same connection, like I was saying in the other readings, of like a person having a connection to a horse. And so your dragon is like a part of you. It's like your soulmate, you know? So it could be for some of you that you were also like a dragon rider in another life. And there could be something in, like you work as a healer, or anyway, I feel like you're meant to work really closely with the dragon medicine over this Chinese year of the dragon. So Crystal says, let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of your life. This beautiful and peaceful dragon's main role as a galactic dragon is to support all indigo and crystal children who have special and unusual abilities and traits, adults and those on the autistic spectrum. So you may be autistic, or someone has told you that you're autistic. It just means you're really fucking awesome. So it says Crystal is in fact named after the Crystal children. She fully understands the complexities that can accompany these children and adults, so is here to support them and their families as much as possible. She urges us to explore the richness of talent in whatever area works for them. For example, this could be numbers, sport, art, music, or pottery, or anything that allows the mind to unleash and creatively to flow. And work with your heart chakra, or excuse me, ooh, that slipped out. So work with your heart chakra also, but throat chakra. It could be for some of you that love, like your love language is singing. It's or speaking with, um, maybe you had people tell you that you have a really unique voice, or maybe you want to do voiceovers for cartoons. That just came through. Or I remember people would tell me all the time that I was really good and that I should try voiceovers. So I got into voiceovers, and my coach was actually, I don't know if you guys will know this, but for those of you who are around my age, you'll remember Bounty, the quicker picker upper. Like, right? Like you didn't see her, but you saw her hand with like the paper towel or whatever for Bounty paper towels. She was my coach, and so many people worked with her, and I didn't realize what a massive career it was. I tried it; it was awesome, it was fun, but there were like so many things that just didn't like resonate with me. But I'm so glad I did it because it taught me a lot about like where to put the inflection in my voice and all these kind of things. So and help with my musical career too, as well as as a singer. So some of you, it could be using your voice. Maybe it's time to voice. Maybe it's time for run for political office. This is a political year, so I don't want to do that because in some languages it's like, hey, fongu. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, so it's something to use your voice because the fact that I felt like I was being choked, and I feel like Spirit's trying to tell you, yes, 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 use your voice, use your voice, use your voice. Okay. So, and that happened when I said music or pottery or anything that allows the mind to unleash and creativity to flow. That's when I started to choke up. She understands that the classroom, with its restraints and rules of quiet and concentration, often does not work for those naturally inquisitive artistic souls. And also, if you watched reading 2 and you were pulled to this reading, or if you're watching this and you're pulled to 2, go and watch it, because Spirit spoke about that, because they pulled the philosopher dragon, and the philosopher dragon was talking all about like going back to school or studying something, or if you were looking for an answer, whether you should pursue X, Y, and Z, you may want to go look at reading 2 because the philosopher talks about that, all the different areas from astrology to science and blah, blah, blah. And maybe there's something that you're interested in that you're pulled to. So go check that out. But for those of you that aren't, the classroom is outside. The classroom is in your home. There are so many things that are free on the internet. And maybe this is for you too, that some people actually like the structure of school and they learn better that way. Other people do not like the structure of school and learn better from just like a class like that they're watching, from home, and they don't have to participate. And you know what I mean? It's different. We're realizing and learning now that every single person deals with education differently, and how they educate themselves, and learning, and what our abilities are, not disabilities, but what our abilities are, right? Because they're like, oh, autistic kids, you can't teach them this or that, or you can't. It's like, who the fuck says you can't do that, right? I have worked with many children, autistic children especially, who could not speak or use their mouth or their voice, but I spoke with them, and they talked to me through their mind. And I told the parent, I'm like, you can do this too. They wouldn't have chose you to be their parent if they couldn't speak to you. So this could even be a message for you. If you get really quiet and get really still, you'll hear what they're trying to say. I remember one situation with a family member who had an autistic child, and they were banging themselves on the head like I'd seen in movies. And I really thought that was just like not real. And it made me so sad that like, that's because they don't know how to express themselves, or they're getting so frustrated or agitated that they go to that extreme to hurt themselves. And I'm hearing maybe you're somebody that was put on this planet or this earth to help autistic children, or to work with autistic adults, to help them use their voice or to express themselves in a certain way. Maybe you're meant to open a school. Maybe you're meant to open an art school where people can come and learn what their abilities are, and have people like myself and you who are there to observe them and watch them and be like, they're not this, they're that. They don't need this, they need this, right? So you have a very important role to play. And this year, if you allow yourself to open up to it, you will know, and it will come through. Okay, that's really powerful. Thank you, Crystal. That was really cool. Okay, so if Crystal has swooped into your cards today, she encourages you to add color, vibrancy, or shape to your life in any way you are drawn to. She asks, have you become too rigid in your thinking, expectations, or outlook on life? Let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of your life and loosen any feelings of tension from your body. Allow your mind to daydream. Let it explore new possibilities. Find creative pursuits and free your soul. Our lives rarely flow along a straight route. They are always full of twists and turns. And Crystal goes on to say, learn to follow the ebb and flow of the tide of your existence here on earth. Struggle and resistance do not serve you, they simply frustrate and vex you. Crystal asks us why we do a job we hate or stay with a partner we can't communicate with. If it makes us unhappy, why? Be true to yourself. Be authentic in your life and allow yourself to let go of all that doesn't bring warmth to your very being. Crystal encourages us to follow our dreams, live our joy, and be open to new possibilities. It's also on page 98, and I feel like that number means something to you. You might have been born in 98, or it could be something, it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be 98 degrees. It could be the band 98 degrees. I don't know, but I was really drawn to that, okay? It could be that you need to add them together for numerology. It could be your life path number. It's open to interpretation, okay? There's our cards, okay. Ooh, you guys got quite a few as well. Okay, so these are your mantras to work with. You can work with all of them, none of them, whatever, you could take a screenshot, whatever you need. But this one is, I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future. Okay, so this is the year of the dragon. So these are the things that they want you to keep saying to yourself and talking to yourself so that you stay on task and keep moving forward and keep getting up. And on the back, it says, life is very simple. I create my experiences at my thinking and feeling patterns. Ooh, very interesting. This says, life is very simple. I create my experiences by my thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. So with that being said, if you're thinking and feeling old, outdated patterns, then you're going to feel like crap. Right? And if you keep doing what you always do, you're going to get what you always get. So in order to reshape your future, you have to use your words and your thoughts as tool to do that. So waking up in the morning and saying, I love myself, I love everybody, and you're going to have a shitty day. Everybody has shitty days, and you're going to have good days, right? Because each day holds its own experience and its own energy. But you can start it each day with what feels good to you, and you can end the day too. The most precious time you have to yourself are the first moments you wake up and the moments as you drift off to sleep. Those are yours. Those moments belong to you. And you decide what you tell yourself. Don't let your brain doesn't control you. It's just a computer. It's a machine and a mechanism to help you understand and get through things, right? But it's not here to, if a bad thought comes in, push it out of the way, bring in a good one. It is that simple. And if it's as simple as, oh my gosh, I love jelly beans. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, then just be like, oh, I can't wait for Easter because I love jelly beans. Like me, I don't eat refined sugar. It's not my thing. But once a year, I let myself have jelly beans. It's my little thing. It's my little thing, right? Maybe it's something like that where you have to give up, but you will receive so much more. Give it to yourself once a year. I gave myself a week to kind of go hog wild. And I felt like crap. But why I do that sometimes is when I looked up, it was 106.16. But when you add them together, it was, what is that? 12, 13, 14. Yes. Which is, if you add it together, it's the number 5, and 5's about change and transformation. And I'm getting that from spirit, is like, it's really time for you guys to transform, which is why transformation, I said to go look at the shorts for the Dragons for Transformation. It's just time. You can still do certain things, but you can't stay in it too long. But when I got to the end of that week of just letting myself go, I didn't really do yoga. I ate what I wanted, blah, blah, blah. I had so many breakdowns, but I have breakthroughs when that happens because I need to go back to the source of when it happened. And for me, junk food, even if it's organic junk food, if I eat too much processed food or too much, chips or things like that, my body, my mind, my soul starts to deplete and it goes in a direction that I don't really want it to go. So, what it does though is it kind of goes back to the darkness and that abyss where I need to figure out why I even still want that in the first place, why I still crave that in the first place. You hear what I'm saying? So allow yourself to go to those places. Just don't stay there for long. Okay, the next one is because I am totally in charge of my life now. Yes, because you're telling yourself that you are in charge. By loving yourself, by taking charge of your life, you're telling yourself you love yourself and everything else will fall into place because love is the universal language, it is the universal energy. On the back of the card, it says, the moment I say positive affirmations, I step out of the victim role. I am no longer helpless. I acknowledge my own power. Yes, exactly. And that's what Spirit wants you to do. Acknowledge your power because you are powerful. And the last one is, I have abundance in all areas of my life. Keep saying it until it's real. I've been there. You guys, those of you who've been following me, you know, I've been home free. I've been in every situation. Even now, a little FYI, we have a deadline now. So we're going to have to move out of the cabin at some point. And so that's a big deal. That was really hard for us to handle, but it was really powerful, and we worked through so much, and we realized how much we have still. And on the back of the card, it says, I claim abundance for myself right here and right now. I deserve to be prosperous. I deserve my good. Yes, you do. So take screenshots of these things to help you, to remember these moments and these words. Okay. Let's see, do we have any more messages? Do we have any channeled messages that we want to do? No, I did channeled messages on reading 1 and reading 2. Do we want to do any channeled messages right now before we head out? Okay. Okay, Spirit. So we are on reading 3. Do we have any channeled messages from any of reading 3's people or their higher selves? Or do you have any messages for them that are not in these cards today? I'm hearing for some of you, it's really time to let go of the telephone. I heard telephone. So I know we have smartphones and TV and whatever, but it might just be that some of you, maybe you're talking too much on the phone, you're texting too much, or I'm just hearing like you're on the phone too much. I kind of get what I'm getting is this vibe of somebody, and there's no judgment. Remember, there's no judgment, but I'm getting this vibe of somebody on the phone being like, or something happening, right? Like you have something shitty happen. You're like, I'm going to call my best friend. And I see you calling them up and going, blah, 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 blah. And they did this to me, blah, 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 blah. And your friend's like, yeah, fuck them, and blah, blah. It is wonderful for us to have friends and a support system. We all are so blessed. If you have one friend that you can talk to, that's wonderful. But also, Spirit is saying, remember that just because we are friends with each other does not mean we have to always hold space for each other. And this goes for you too. If you have somebody who's always calling you, or, I used to have a friend, and we prided ourselves on our very long, over 2-decade friendship that we talked on the phone almost every day. And I remember one time somebody said something like, wow, you're both really codependent or something. And I was like, what? And I was like, no, she's my best friend, man. Like we like totally help each other. And the irony is we don't even talk anymore. And I wish her well wherever she is. I love her, and I'm so grateful for everything that we gave to each other. But what I'm saying is that I started to realize and recognize that actually it was better for me to solve my issues on my own. It's nice to have a sounding board for our friends. It's nice to, I have one person in my life who is my sounding board now. We do that for each other. But instead of calling each other, now we just do like voice messages. And actually, I have a few friends that we do that with. And then it's like, then we can listen to it when we want to hold space for that person. And we can get a good chuckle, if they're having a rough time, they're laughing about it. Or if they're really sad, then we know like, hey, just to let you know, I just heard your message. I'm here for you. How are you doing now? Do you need to talk? Sometimes we just need to work through it. But I'm hearing no more instant gratification for you or this other person that's on the line. That's a really big deal. That was a hard one for me to let go of too. But I guarantee you, you will become so much more grounded and more in control of your life if you're listening to yourself and connecting with your higher self and your guides, and really connecting with your own intuition. And I'm feeling that too for some of you, like the moons. You're really connected to the moons. You love the full moon. Maybe you were born on a full moon. I feel like the full moon energy, like you're really wild, or maybe you get together with a group of people and they're like, that's fine. But just remember that like at certain energies and certain times, especially a full moon, it is a, yes, we reached the apex. Thank you. Spirit was trying to say that. And it's bright and it's beautiful and we're in celebration. However, we don't want to push the energy to a point where it's like, right? It's like when you don't want to make a snap decision when you're in peril, or when you're, you know what I mean? Like, you know how like it could go the other way too. If you're having a really good time with someone, you're like, yeah, let's talk tomorrow, blah, blah. But by the time tomorrow comes, you're both feeling tired because you just gave so much energy that day before, right? And you're like, oh yeah, yeah. And then you start to feel guilty, and there's all these things. No more guilt, no more control. Just allow the energy to flow. Okay. Just allow the energy to flow. Allow the energy to flow. I keep hearing that over and over, like a river. Something like a river. You know that song? Like, that's what I'm hearing from spirit. Like, just let it go, let it flow. When you're having a moment like that, go talk to spirit. Go talk to spirit. They're listening. Talk to a grandmother that's passed over. Talk to a friend that's crossed over. Be like, can I sit with you and talk to you? Because you know what? Their energy system and their energy field is different because they're no longer in human form. They can handle it. But people are in human form, especially right now with the energy on the planet the way that it is. Everyone's trying to still be the way that they used to be. And Spirit's saying, like, for some of you, or maybe this is about you yourself, but it could be your friend can't handle that energy from you anymore, but they don't want to tell you because they love you. So back off. Or it could be for some of you who are the receiver, let it go. You know what I mean? Like, just, you don't have to pick up the phone. You don't have to talk to them. Whatever conversation you need to have. I'm hearing for some of you, it's an uncomfortable conversation. Well, if you cannot have, this is really strict from the dragons right now, no ego. They're saying if you cannot have a straightforward conversation with your friends about, or family, anyone, boss, anyone, then it's not the place for you, because people who love you and respect you will understand that you do not want to hold space for them at that time. I have learned this lesson. Gosh, thank you, Natalie Staggs, wherever you are. And Joy Martinello. Seriously, they were two women that really, really helped teach me about that and holding space for people, because I was a bull in a china shop. So we cannot always expect other people to solve our issues or our problems, because that's an inside job. Happiness is an inside job. All of it is an inside job. Okay? Any other channel messages, Spirit? I'm hearing something about badunkadunk, or something, and it sounds like, it almost feels like Donkey Kong, like it feels like a video game or something. And it could be for some of you that maybe you have somebody in your orbit that plays video games and it's really loud and it annoys you. Maybe it's the visuals, maybe it's the hear. Could be a roommate, it could be a spouse, a significant other. I'm hearing, then tell them no, not anymore. If you share a TV, then say, okay, then you need to wear headphones, get wireless headphones, and you can do this, and I will go in the other room. Then that way you won't be visually stimulated, you won't be hearing stimulated. This is a very important thing. So this is either a significant other or roommate that I'm feeling. Could it be a sibling? But it feels more like somebody that is like in close proximity, and it doesn't feel like familial, family. But yes, you can insist that. They can still hear it in their headphones. So what's the difference, I bought a pair of wireless headphones for my husband for $20, and they work great, right? So I know that they exist at that price point. Okay, any other messages, Spirit? I'm hearing something with pink. I saw the color pink, but then I heard the song Trust Fall. I actually just posted shorts on Lula's Life, my other channel, today about that. So Spirit's saying it's time for you to trust. It's a trustful baby, right? Close your eyes and leave all behind. Go where love is on our side. It's a trustful baby. Yeah. So you have to trust that love knows what it's doing. Love is an intelligence. It's an intelligence from the universe. And they want you to remember that love is a universal intelligence of all beings. And you come from love. So when you're speaking to anyone on any level, if you have any fear-based emotions in this conversation, they're saying then you need to go into it with light and love. And you say, you say a little prayer before you go in there, something like, thank you, so-and-so, for receiving these messages with the light and the love that was intended. You call upon their higher self. And also you can use your pendulum or sit with spirit and be like, when's a good time? If they come home from wherever they are and they're in a bad mood, that's not the time to talk to them, right? But if they come home, they're in a good mood, you're like, hey, can you, maybe carve out a little time? Can we sit and talk for a little while? And just speak your truth and speak it with love and say, hey, man, I love you and I love living with you. But this is just, if this isn't going to work, then I'm going to have to move out. Or if this isn't something we can compromise or make a change on, then I'm going to have to, we're going to have to end our relationship. It could be addiction. It could be a lot of different things. Okay, that's it. All right, that's all we have for you guys. Thank you, Reading 3. Thank you, Spirit. I hope you guys enjoyed these messages. I really hope that this all worked because I did a reading for the tribe last week with the Love Yourself deck. Anyway, long story short, it was so good. It was so awesome. And I went back to edit it and it did not go through. And I was so bummed out. I was really bummed out. So I hope that you guys will be able to see these because in reading 2, I was channeling, and when I came back, it said that it was disconnected. So now it's moving forward. So I'm praying that it's still, that you guys got to see these messages. If not, I know whatever is meant to get out there will get out there, and what doesn't, doesn't. So until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. It is the year of the dragon. Thank you so much to the dragons for being here. Thank you to the love energy for being here. Thank you to all of you for being here. And until next time. Take good care of yourselves and each other. All my information is on this channel for anything you need, want, whatever. Look around, you'll find it. I love you. Until next time, blessed be. Oh, bye.